You're listening to the Phatt on Phoenix FM, the voice of your community, and we did sort of a bit of a teaser before that someone had ridden their bike up to the door of the studio, and it turns out that he's meant to be here because we'd booked him in, and we now have with us Richard from FreeWheeling Fun. Welcome to the Phatt on Phoenix FM, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Do appreciate you being committed to the cause and riding here, even though the weather questionable for riding.
Have a raincoat.
Yeah. I'm not sure that would have helped
There are
you.
secrets to braving the weather, isn't there?
Absolutely.
I don't know whether that sort of, when I was driving in here this morning, that was the sort of rain that no one should be riding in. Wouldn't have been safe, I don't reckon. But it's cleared up a little bit now.
Yes.
And we're here for you to have a chat with us about all about what FreeWheeling Fun is.
Right.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, give us a little, the lowdown on what FreeWheeling Fun does.
Okay, well, we get donated bikes by the general public, and if they're in a sort of a repairable condition, we'll fix them up, make them rideable and safe, and then give them away again.
Right.
So we're not a bike shop in any sense, so we don't charge for our bikes and we don't do repairs. So it's just we do obviously need money. We've got a public liability insurance and rent to pay, and well, not at the moment.
Yes.
That's part of the story we'll definitely get to.
And and there's consumables to be bought, and so we do ask for a donation, and if they can afford to, they make a donation to us. But it's a difficult position for compared to bike shops.
Yes.
Bike shops are trying to make a living by selling bikes, and here's us giving them away.
Yeah.
So they look on us as sort of unfair competition.
Yeah.
So we make it very clear to people that if they come to us and they can afford to go to a bike shop to get even a second-hand one, that's where they should go. Don't come to us. We're purely here for people who are struggling, need to get their kids to school, single mums, people who are looking for work, just out of prison, trying to find a job, haven't got a car.
Yeah.
All those reasons that they come to us because they simply can't afford to. So we're not really taking customers away because our customers won't go to a bike shop anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, to me, I look upon it as being something that actually supports a biking culture. And hopefully those people, when they get on their feet later, yes, they can afford to go and buy from a bike shop because they're used to riding, and it becomes a thing for them. Yeah,
absolutely. And some they're looking for work and they find work and they came back, and when they've got their pay and they make a donation. So it's just really lovely. They've got the bike for free, but they come back and say, I got a bike off you a couple of months ago. I'm now working. I'd like to make a donation.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and it's also, I guess, a form of, saving bikes from just going to landfill and that sort of thing and being thrown away.
Exactly. And it's, the government likes to see that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
we all do.
Yes, we all do. Yeah. And some of the bikes that we get, of course, because we're not a bike shop and we don't have all the equipment to repair bikes, we don't do major works. So some of the bikes that come to us are simply not repairable. They've been out in the backyard for 5 years and they're rusted solid, and they drop them off to us, and we say, so we have to take them down to recycling. And get rid of them. But most of the bikes we get, some of them are very good, and we do sell some of our very good bikes that we get donated on eBay.
Okay.
And it's a way of us making,
money to be able to do what you
give
do.
them away again.
Yeah,
for free. So, if you've got a bike that's worth $300-400 place or wherever, it's got sense to give one away for $5.
Yes.
Whatever. So that helps us, just give bikes away for free. Our finances are good. We've sold a few bikes.
How long have you been going?
We've been at the shed for 10 years. That's when I joined them 10 years ago. Before that, they were sort of all over the place. They used to have a little tent at the back of the old post office when there was a market there.
Okay, yeah. Gee, that is going back.
People would drag their bikes up and they would sort of fix them and do them up and give them back again, sort of. But and it started because I'm not really sure of the history, the exact history, but apparently there was someone out in a paddock out in Strathfield, say somewhere, and had a heap of bikes, and he was doing them up and giving them away. A chap called Ben Shue, he thought that this could be organised better, and I met Ben through another voluntary work I was doing, also with bikes.
Oh yeah,
and I put my hand up as a mechanic because he didn't have one. And then they'd recently acquired the shed at the Good Loaf Bakery. And so he said, we need a mechanic. And I said, well, okay, I'll help you. I was a bit reluctant. I was already doing about 3 or 4.
yes.
So I was a bit reluctant, but I thought, oh, no, I love fiddling with bikes. And I did have a bike shop for 20 years.
Okay.
In Melbourne. So, yeah.
So did you. So it's obviously volunteer run.
Oh, yes.
How many people are involved?
Well, at the moment, we've got 4 of us that are permanent sort of thing, permanent volunteers, and we have others that drift in and out that come and help us. The committee that run it is just 4 people.
Yeah.
So there's a secretary, there's a treasurer, chairman.
Okay.
So there's just the 4 of us that run it, and honestly, we've only got 3 bike stands, so you get more volunteers.
Yeah,
Sweeping the floor or something.
Yeah.
So it's comfortable with 4.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get 5 turn up, and and they can sort things out. And So it's
lend
good.
a hand.
So 10 years, we give away, I think on average, about $500 a year.
Wow.
So
That's massive.
yes,
Yeah, for the smaller manias that are working in the team, that's that's a lot.
Yeah.
And magnificent outcomes.
Yeah.
What's that, 10 a week?
Yeah.
That may have been an overestimate.
Oh, let's go with it.
Maybe.
No, we're happy to run with 500.
Let's say 300 to 500.
Yes, 300 to 500. I mean,
still,
gee, that's still good numbers no matter what. And you're, and so now your challenge at the moment is a home.
Absolutely.
Because you're having to move out of the shed there.
Yes, and it's all speculative at the moment. We've had quite we did post on Facebook that we were needed to move. The response has been wonderful.
Good.
I think we had about 100 our Facebook page and lots of offers. We've had counsellors that are keen to help. We've had environmental people, sustainability people.
Yeah.
Heritage Bendigo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really.
all have been saying, look, we've got this shed, we've got that shed.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the situation at the moment is that we were given till Saturday night. So Sunday the 1st of December we had to be out. Now, I haven't spoken to the agent who's managing it, the property, but our chairman has been in touch with him, and apparently there's a little bit of a leeway there.
A little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, a little bit. We may be able to stay on for a week, maybe even 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which would be wonderful because the pressure to get everything out. And then we've been offered a old op shop down in Laurel.
Okay.
It's on the corner of Laurel Panton Street.
Okay.
And it's near the big church.
In Golden Square.
In Golden Square,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
yes. Yeah, a big church at the roundabout there.
Yeah.
And there's a op shop that goes through to the
I
old
know what you
hall.
mean. Yep.
Oh,
faces.
yeah. I think the Uniting
Yes.
used to use that as the op shop,
Yes,
wasn't it?
that's right.
Uniting
That's
Church,
correct.
yes.
Yeah. And that's been empty for a while, and that's been sold.
Right.
Ah.
First time in 172 years it's changed hands.
Oh, there you go.
So a little bit of history there.
Yeah.
So that's been offered to us, but at the moment it has been sold, but the church still owns it.
Yeah.
And we're trying to negotiate with the agent for that, who happens to be the same agent
Who has where you are.
Yes, yes. So we put pressure on him to say, look.
Gee, that's a nice spot too, because it's accessible.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's ground floor
Absolutely.
sort of thing with the ramp going up, I think.
Yes,
on it.
that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
You
So
know the one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be great, but again, it's not permanent.
No.
The owner wants to do something with it and develop it, but he said that at least 6 to 8 months before he'll get round to doing it.
Okay.
So that'll give us time then.
Perhaps to nail a permanent
Place. And we've been offered a shed, which I haven't seen yet, but Central Deborah Gold Mine, the tram stop there. Heritage Bendigo offered us that. And I'm having a meeting tomorrow with them.
Yep.
In the afternoon to suss that out and see what.
Gee,
it's like.
that'd actually fit quite nicely with the work that they've been doing at Bendigo Heritage Attractions. Yes.
Oh, okay.
James Reed, I think, is the head of that now, and he's always been a very community-minded person. So.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
It's James that we've been talking to.
Oh,
yes.
excellent.
Yeah. So we're meeting with him and Adam, I think his name is. Well, then that might be another option.
Yeah.
That,
absolutely.
But hopefully the church will come through and we'll have that, and hopefully we'll get extension to our current premises.
Yeah. So you can stay there for the moment.
But as I say, it's all up in the air at the moment, so we're all desperately waiting to hear from the agent and hear from the church. And
we do quite often with all our community conversations we have on here. We get into that. What goes on behind the scenes in regards to keeping these things afloat, because just in you telling us about all the meetings and everything that you got to have, I think for a lot of people they don't realise how much work goes on in the background to keep the lights on and the insurance paid and everything like that.
Yes.
So you're telling us about part of that background work that goes on and why people should support and do more than just. Yeah, they do a great job. Come and help out because every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And of course, council is the other meetings with councils, and they're looking for places for us.
Yeah.
But so something will come. Hopefully, something will come.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I was thinking we might play a song. I found one that we just really have to play. And Australia, we only play Australian music on this show, Richard, and there is an Australian song that is a must play.
It's the Australian version of a famous song.
Well, it's it was their song.
Was their song originally, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Mixtures.
The Mixtures.
Yeah, it was their song.
Oh, because everyone thinks of the Mungo Jerry version from the UK.
No, we've got the Mixtures version. And it was the original version of the song. So we have to play this, Richard, given that you're in the studio.
It is.
I hope you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
Here is the Push Bike song by the Mixtures, obviously.
Yes. You're listening to Phoenix FM, the voice of your community, and we are chatting with Richard today from FreeWheeling Fun. And it's a dedication to Richard and the team with the Mixtures and the Push Bike song. Phoenix FM, and you're tuned into the Phatt, and we have been listening to some Australian music. But while we're doing that, we've had in the studio Richard from FreeWheeling Fun, and we did play a song on his in his honour, I suppose. The Mixtures with the Push Bike song from 1970. And Keith, you did sort of say about, you thought we talked about where the original was from.
Yeah.
It actually did quite well. That song reached number 1 in Australia and number 2 in the UK.
Yeah, and then Mungo Jerry remade it. And those were the days when they used to remake songs pretty quickly. Mm. And you get multiple versions of the same song out at the same time by different people,
We also heard in there Sage, who I think they were down from Sydney or Mountains, maybe up that way somewhere with Come As You Are. They were playing in Bendigo just recently.
Yeah. Awaken Coffee.
They were. So, Richard, we've been chatting a bit about what's going on with Freewheeling Fun and the issues that you're having about accommodation. But aside from the issues, there's still lots of great work being done. And how can people get their bicycles to you if they've got old ones that have been sitting in the shed that still in reasonable nick, but they're not getting ridden anymore, they're covered in cobwebs? How can they get those bikes to you?
Well, they can either, if it's possible, they can drop it off when we find a location. They can drop it off to us.
Yes.
Or if they get in touch through Facebook, then I can go and pick it up. We've got access to a trailer, so we can pick up bikes if need be. Mostly they just drop them off. They bring them in, and then we assess them. I don't think we can fix this.
Is it fixable or not?
Yeah, that's right. And so most of the time I'll just say, I'll keep going out to Eagle Hawk and give it there. But a lot of the time, yes, we'll either pick it up if it's not possible to deliver it, or they'll deliver it to us.
Yeah. So I suppose one of the questions, I mean, you don't want to have all your time tied up with getting rid of bikes or that have been dropped off to you. What sort of standard do you need to, like if a tyres, if a bike has tyres that over the years have become really worn and really it's, can't be repurposed or regifted, is you guys put new tyres on it? And would you go to that level or?
Yes. We've got quite a range of spares. We get bikes in that can't be repaired, so anything good on them, we'll strip them down. So we've got 20 or 30 tubs all full of bicycle bits,
right?
Plus racks for tyres and tubes. All the bits come off a bike that are good, we'll keep. If the bike's not repairable, the assessment's done when it's dropped off, and we will take it if we think we can use it, or if it's absolutely beyond repair, then it has to be pretty bad before we'll knock it back.
Okay.
We'll take most things, and it will take anything if that's as far as they can bring it, sort of thing. And you say, well, I can't get it to the tip. I say, well, leave it with us. And we do a regular run. We get all the that accumulates, all the old rusty bits and everything, and just go to metal recycling.
Cool. And so, in terms of people who, like the people who actually take the bikes, who receive the bikes, how do they tend to come through to you? Are they referred by people or?
Mostly Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, they've seen us on Facebook, or word of mouth.
Yeah.
That someone, they might say a neighbour's got their kids a bike, and say, oh, you bought him a new bike. Oh no, we couldn't afford to buy one, but Freewheeling Fun, and they give them away.
Yeah.
So, and if you can make a donation, you do.
Yeah.
And, so they'll come, especially at Christmas. We mentioned before about Christmas. But it's a good time. Kids, especially single mums, trying to get kids to school and things and little Christmas presents. I should here also mention that Woolworths donate bikes to us that have been returned to them.
Right.
Now, I don't know the policy there, but bikes, and a lot of the time they're just a simple mechanical thing. It just no longer works. It won't change gear, or the brake no longer works. So they'll take it back to Woolies, and whether Woolies give their money back or not, I don't know. But and Lynn in Woolworths has given us almost brand new bikes.
Wow.
So they've been wonderful.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
And the nicer the bike looks, of course, the kids,
the more excitement they get.
That's
from
right.
it.
Parents will bring their kids in, and you give them a little bike that looks brand new, and it's a little BMX with Spider-Man logos. And honestly, the look on the kids, jump on and they whiz around.
Yeah.
it's a joy to see. It really
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and
Very
it is a
heartening.
joy. Like, it's comparable, I think, to when you first get your license and you have that sense of freedom to a degree.
Oh,
and when you're a
exactly.
kid, you get that with a bike. When you first get a bike and you can just ride off into the sunset sort of
right.
thing and do your own thing, it is that sense of freedom.
Absolutely, yes.
And adventure.
Yeah,
for the kids.
they get so excited.
Yeah.
And the parents are always so appreciative, you know. They got their child a almost brand new bike and
Yeah.
a very small donation, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah,
very, very
definitely
heartening.
is a great service.
Yes,
that
it
you
is.
provide.
So as you've referred to, Facebook is the best way to keep up to date with what you're doing and also to contact you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And to find
At
out
the-
where
at this stage,
your new
yes,
location.
at this stage,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, they come. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Facebook is the best place. But,
Yeah. And even if you're just someone who's interested in the community, you may not be necessarily looking for a bike at this stage, but you may know someone down track, so follow them on Facebook, because that actually teaches the algorithms then that, hey, let's push this thing out a little bit further because people like what's on there. So, get behind these community organisations, follow their pages, and it helps us sort of counter some of those people, bigger companies that can afford to pay for their advertising and push it in our faces whether we want or not.
I was
That's
going to
wonderful.
say too,
It's a wonderful opportunity today. Thank you.
and part of that, in terms of liking pages like that, is you help flood your own feed with good news stories rather than depressing stuff.
Yeah.
Don't forget that's a good reason to follow organisations like FreeWheeling Fun as well.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call it doom scrolling.
Yes,
because
yes,
it's all rubbish on there. So
you
follow
keep
some of
looking at-
these groups and you see good news
Yeah,
instead.
you'll see good news, Follow like some of the other ones we've had visitors like Sunshine Bendigo and Bendigo Food Share
and
the Recycle and Repair Shed and
lots of those
and
things.
FreeWheeling Fun. And that's one thing that's really struck me when you say about the amount of people who have been in touch about your property issue, that you've had counsellors and other organisations and, a lot of messages about it, that there is that thing in Bendigo where people want to help, or at least they care too. And it'd be good for you to know that many people care about what you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. But Bendigo community's been wonderful. It's a cycling community.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are just racing groups that go out.
Yeah.
But you can see groups of 50 going out.
Yeah.
But that interest in the racing and all that, a lot of that starts from kids actually just getting they had
their
to have
first
got
bike.
a first bike at some stage. They don't get on a bike for
Too
the first
true.
time at 18 years of age and go, I'm heading off to the World Championships. So it's all started with the bikes that they get through, freewheeling
Yes,
fun
indeed.
and the like. So,
Yeah.
And our Facebook page will be regularly updated about what's happening.
Yes. Yeah.
So people can see, yes, we're open again. Yes, we're up and running again. We've got a new location. All that sort of stuff will be on Facebook. But again, as you said, if you don't need a bike, if you know someone and, single mum or someone who's struggling and doesn't know about feeling fun,
Send them a link.
This is a wonderful Facebook, and but this today a wonderful opportunity to get it out there and let people know that we're around.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, look, that's half the battle, isn't it? As we say, you're competing against other organisations who tend to control the media outlets and all this sort of thing and get their story out. So it can be
It's
difficult
wonderful.
for these sort of organisations to get the
Great.
word out. So
Yeah.
it's why we're here, Keith.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's why we love
'Cause-
doing these community conversations,
Yeah,
Brett.
we did wonder for a while we were here, and then eventually we found why.
We've found our purpose, Brett.
We have a purpose. Look,
That's brilliant.
really appreciate you riding in
Thank
this
you,
morning, Richard.
Oh, pleasure.
Hopefully you have I'm sure you will, a safe ride home and you don't get too wet. Even though you have got a raincoat.
Thank you for the opportunity to chat to you.
No worries at all. But
glad, and we wish you well. Hopefully you find a permanent premises soon.
Check our Facebook page.
Check the Facebook page. Freewheeling Fun.
Freewheeling Fun. Facebook, hit them up, follow them, like them, whatever it is you want to do with your stuff.
Yep.
And you can even donate if you like.
Yeah.
That will be greatly appreciated as well. Thank you, Richard.